In this section, we're going to be taking a look at calculations for work. But before we dive in, I'm going to go through some tips and tricks to kind of help with organizing the work, making sure the units work, as well as some key pieces that are going to come up in terms of when we need to do a little bit of extra calculation and when we get to move ahead. So work is in terms of physics applications. We take into account force and distance, and by multiplying those two pieces, we get an idea of the work that's been accomplished. As we dive into physics applications, I will fully own I am not a physics instructor by any means. I can do the calculations and the calculus no problem, but a deeper understanding of physics might stump me a little bit. But I want to be clear, I know some of you are taking physics right now. If I say anything that's blatantly incorrect, feel free to correct me. I like to improve my physics skills, but with that, I'll do kind of a brief overview here, get us into the calculus for the types of problems we'll be seeing. But feel free to let me know if you're like, Julia, no. All right, so the calculation we're basing everything on is work is equal to force times distance, or W is equal to F times D. Let's talk about units that we're seeing first. So in terms of force, we'll be seeing newtons and pounds come through. So that capital N is going to stand for newtons, which sometimes if we have that number, we'll just label it with an N next to it. But newtons can also appear as kilogram meters per second squared. So that would be a breakdown of our units for newtons, which maybe sometimes we'll have to kind of get there as a calculation, but then we can switch to using newtons. So then when we multiply these together, we'll have units of newtons multiplying with meters. So we have these like Newton meters, but we shorten that to be described as joules. So if you just use the notation of Newton meters, that's completely fine by me. But it could be good practice, especially if you're taking physics classes, to make that conversion over to joules, since that's technically correct. But as we start multiplying our units and as we work through these problems, I'll emphasize how those units come together so that when we get this final number out, we know how to express it correctly. Another force that we'll be using, which you should be fairly comfortable with, is the force of pounds, and we'll be working with that in feet, and the value that we get out for work is just foot-pounds. So there we go for our units. Then some special cases that happen with weights that are given to us, particularly kilograms versus pounds. Key is, if we're being given something in pounds, gravity has already been taken into account in that number. So when we work with pounds, we don't need to do anything extra, is the short of it. When we work with kilograms, we are going to have an extra step to it. Because as we see in our notation up here, when we work with kilograms, it actually comes through as this multiplication with meters over seconds squared. And that's coming from that we need to make an adjustment based on acceleration, which in a lot of the cases is coming from gravity. So kilograms alone does not take into account gravity. So we need to make that adjustment with this calculation of force equals mass times acceleration. So mass is going to be our value in kilograms, and then acceleration is going to be in meters per second squared, and that's how we get into newtons. So if we were given just a weight of 22 kilograms, we would need to do 22 times 9.8. 9.8 meters per second squared is our value for gravity. And that'll be a good one to have memorized, but I'll try to include it as much as I can if we need it in our calculations. But just to pay attention to the unit, so this is 22 kilograms times 9.8 meters per second squared. So when we multiply those two together, in terms of the numerical value, we'll get out a 215.6, and then we'll have kilograms meters per second squared, but we could just change that to 215.6 newtons. And then we're all set to go for a calculation involving force with newtons. So all to say, When we're given something just kilograms, we're going to need to use this for an adjustment of multiplying by acceleration, which will often come from gravity. But if we're given something in pounds, we're all good to go because gravity has been taken into account, and we can go ahead and calculate work directly.